Right. Good, Myro. Sounds good. Let's go this. Painting goo 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 goo. Painting goo 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 goo. Oh, stretching goo. Painting goo goo goo. It's painting fucking goo. It's painting goo. Painting goo. It's painting goo. Oh, stretching goo. Painting me, painting goo. Oh, I'm like Rusty Spring today. Oh. Painting goo 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 goo. Oh. Oh, my shoulders. Myro, you remind the people the ways of the good, true, and beautiful where I stretching goo. Oh. Painting goo. It's painting goo. Let's fucking goo. Painting me, painting goo. Painting goo. Painting goo. Painting goo. Oh, my chi is beginning to fro. Oh, yeah. Time to bring it home, Myro. Painting goo. Goo, goo, goo. Painting goo. Aha. Ugh. Painting goo 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 goo. Painting goo goo goo. It's painting fucking goo. Let's painting goo. Painting goo. Painting goo. Oh, I got distracted. Looking at my fucking phone. Painting goo. Painting goo. Bring it home, Myro. Painting goo. It's painting goo. It's faking goo. If you had any honor, you'd pay the monkey. But most of you are just ferty mortars. Ferty mortars. Such beauty is beyond your understanding. Greetings and welcome to another glorious episode of PEINTEINGU. Oh, I am whacked of bush. I am bush-whacked today. I am very tired indeed. I need a proper chi cleansing and some glorious tunage to rouse my chi, because I am fucked. I am fuked. My energy is roe. Ah! taiko drums. My chi steadily flowing as I descend into proper PEINTEINGU posture, revering my top notu. Whoa. Glorious vibrations from the taiko drums. Today, we set sail on another PEINTEINGU adventure. Boris, our resident cartographer. He rules over this arranged map of the realm. Dictates where we go. Don't you, Boris? Boris is a strong, stoic, and silent bear. That's why I like him. Let's find out where we're going. Then find out what we're going. Defender ass. Ugh. Sit tight, you bitch. Right. A number between 0 and 224. Price. Griffu. Griffu's on the baru. Griffu's all over that bar like white on rice. 110, you say? Where is it? Wo ist es? Where's 100? Lesotho! Lesotho. Where the fuck is this? 110. Please don't be fucking Africa. My cup runneth over with Africa. Get a bigger cup. Fuck you. I hate Africa now. You've made me hate Africa, Mapu. Not you, Boris. You and me are cool. Let's see where it is. PEINTEINGU! Huh? Where the fuck? Where we go? Where's 110? I don't want to have to consult. Oh, for fuck's sake, I found it! I knew it! I knew it! I knew it was in Africa! It's right in front of me. Fuck you, Griff. Goddamn nigger lover. It is particularly ironic that the number Griff picks is in South Africa. Oh, right. Lesotho. What do they say in Lesotho? Oh, I remember this. Vaguely. I remember this vaguely. Letekatse. I don't know what, like, the accent in Southern Africa. Letekatse. Letekatse. Umbumbue. Letekatse. It's probably something like that. Means prostitute. Excellent. Griff's like, no! Yeah, well, you made your bed. You may lie in it. You truck driving fuck you. A moment. Right, we know, unfortunately, where we are going. Now, we shall discover what we are going, as I consult the magic hat. Taken from the corpse of a cowboy I slaughtered upon my banishment from Chinese heaven. I was very bitter as I landed in Earthrealm, and one of the first things I came across was this cunt. He brandished his firearms, and I slew him with a brush. The hard, pointy end. I'm not that good. Margie loves Africa. I do, also, in many ways, love Africa. It is a beautiful place in the realm, full of beautiful, yet highly dangerous animals. One of my favorite being the elephant. I love elephants. Big, powerful, yet playful, and seemingly artistic, glorious creatures. Elephants kick ass. Where? It is my peeper. Shit, ducky. There's a reason, like, the Bracks and the Japanese are closely related, especially in ghettos. I've always found that fascinating. That there's like a fucking full-on community of like black ghetto people who like love shit like Dragon Ball Z and all. Like look at Afro Samurai. Like that right there tells you something. Like, do you know what I mean? Like brilliant. Like I'd love to sit down and watch the what are they called? It's not the Boondocks, is it? Or is it both? There's like two black animes that are like hilarious. Cowboy Bebop or something. Like I've never taken the time to watch them. Like I'd love to though. I'm still trying to watch Attack on Titan. I started watching it ages ago. Oh, I just don't have the time. I just don't have the time. I even said it to the female yesterday. I was like, I'm fucking... Do you ever get those moments where like you're like overly ambitious? Maybe it's not being overly ambitious, but like by modern standards anyway. I want to do too much sometimes. Sometimes I don't have that problem. There's plenty of times where I don't want to do fuck all. But sometimes I want to do too much. Like I have choice paralysis. Like, do you know what I mean? Where it's like a part of me really does want to fucking like pick up a guitar and shit. But like, if like ideally, if I could get my hands on a Japanese like traditional like. What are they called? Sitar or like whatever. I don't know what they're called. Like shamisen. That's the one. Fucking shamisen. Like with that like big Y-shaped plek and all that they have. Like bang 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 bang. Right, I'd sit here for ages and it probably wouldn't be entertaining at all to like a lot of people. Like, you know what I mean? Like just some gobshite trying to learn how to play a shamisen live on stream. Yeah, fucking shut up and paint something, will you? Fuck off. It's your own stream. Everybody has a stream these days. And she's just like boot it up and fucking... Because you're a coward, that's why. Isn't it? That's what it is. Uncle Ruckus on Boondocks. Is that the one where it's like... The most terrifying thing to a nigger is a job application. You must terrify the nigger. For the like, it's one of the funniest things I've ever seen. Like, brilliant. Like, but I've never actually sat down and like what I just seen that bit that Owen showed on the stream. Like, it's weird how like things can be so niche. Like, that's kind of what I'm getting at. Like, do you know what I mean? There's like all these things I haven't watched, read, played, like, you know, attempted, done. Like, so much shit. Like. I'm so busy all the time doing the stuff I am doing, like, do you know what I mean? It's fucking, like, and that alone warps my mind sometimes, like. I really like the idea of grid pigs. I think they're fucking hilarious, man. I can't stop thinking about different variations of pigs now. So funny, like. My mind just, like, goes with shit. Big Bear is really right when he says that whites love themes. My brain really loves that shit. Where it just like takes a theme and just runs with it. PEINTEINGU. Like, I love being able to get something like that and create a whole universe around it. You know, like, how funny would that be? Like a cartoon with those factions and characters involved. Oh my god, my shoulders are so stiff today. My traps, man. Seriously, whatever way I slept, like.
like finally back into a routine of like getting up early, going to bed early, getting up early, going to bed early the past week or so. And I think it's just like today, it's like hit me. In the sense that like for the past like 4 days I've just been like really locked in. Whereas like the past like 3 or 4 weeks now, because of the cough and the illness and shit, like I was like just very like chaotic in my routine, because sometimes my energy would be so low. Like PEINTEINGU! Oh, PEINTEINGU helps. It's just something about this stream that gets my chi flowing. I can't be the only one who loves this tune. Okay, that one's set up. I don't want to have to, like, sometimes I hate scrolling through the fucking... I must have nearly 400 songs in that goddamn playlist now. Like, it's fucking, such a fucking mess in certain ways. Like, even for a like a very masculine dude, like, do you know what I mean? Like, I'm still very like, I'm so like hermity. Everything's so scattered and chaotic, like, but ordered. It's weird. I definitely would have fucking been diagnosed with some kind of like autism spectrum-y shit if that had been around when I was in school. Like, when you just look at my behavior and like how I like can hyper focus on some things and then like be utterly scattered like a lunatic on other shit. Like, ah, sip sip. Oh, right. I shall consort the heart, and then we shall cleanse our chi, and we shall road the parrot with the goo. Oh. Snatch! Number 1. I love that bit. Snatch! Oh! Oh! Oh, that was clean. Oh! Unicorn! I immediately have to pay some gateway to Big Bear because I am painting a fucking unicorn. Ah. Gather chi. Focus. Snatch! Oh. Oh, character damage. Oh. Emotional damage. That's a Chinese. That's not Japanese. Unicorn. Obelisk. It's just not fucking right. I think the gods are trying to call me gay right now. Stop complaining about being tired, fag. Entertain the people. You should have stretched before the stream. Fucking pansy. I'm gonna make you paint a unicorn and an obelisk in the same paint. What's the third one? It's gonna be like a fucking bleeding rocket. It has to be. Like, if the third one's a missile or a rocket, it's gonna be so funny. Fucking paint a unicorn riding a fucking scud launcher. Straight into like an Arabic looking obelisk in the desert. Oh, see, now I'm going to be utterly disappointed. You know, if it's not a missile or a rocket, I'm going to be disappointed now. Right, time to dance with some demons.
The Joy Range at the Baby Room at Smith.
Ugh, Smiths. Ugh. Right. A brief but efficient cleansing of the chi. Poor Tobias is just like vibrating on top of the thing. Oh. Do you imagine how fucked up that'd be if I actually had a crow glued to the top of that thing? Oh, right. Fighter, snatch! Oh, I'm sure sick. That is also a factor. Paint! Some cough. I don't think I've ever been sick for this long. It's usually like 2 weeks max. Paint! Right, snatch. Oh, I missed. You have to make the... I know Bruce Lee was Chinese. But you have to make those noises. It helps. It helps the chi flow. Oh. I could easily do Japanese. Huh! Hi! Ich! He said! Painting goo. Snatch! Oh, that was clean. Like Igor! Like Igor snatching sheep. A hag. Does it say hog? Or hag? No, that's definitely one of my A's. Or is it? I don't know. My writing is so unreliable. I'm pretty sure that says hag. But like sometimes I do like half-assed cursive, so that could be hog. We'll never know. I'm just gonna do a hag. Just gonna do an ugly bitch. It would be hilarious if only now you got to coof after 4 years. Oh god, imagine. Just like, oh, it finally got here. It's very persistent. Like, did I even cough that much yesterday? I don't know. Like, I don't know. Today's one of those days where I just feel kind of off and like really tired. Oh, last 3 or 4 days I was grand. Shot up out of the bed. So, do you ever get frustrated with like you're experimenting with like things and like sometimes, often, you come to a point where you're like, what's the variable? What am I doing? What am I changing? What am I doing different? That's been working for weeks or months. Like what happened? Like you're trying to spot the variable so you can be like, I'm not doing this anymore. I forgot to do that. Or like for example, paint. Recently I was like struggling with like, how do I get these things like nice and flat with the same texture that I've got them like with for a while before, like, and I'd forgotten that I was using the card paper that's like 180 GSM instead of the really basic like cartridge paper shit that's like 110 GSM or some shit, like. And there is, like, you know, there's a significant difference in, like, all the different grades, like watercolor paper, oil paper, all that shit, like. Then there's, like, Bristol board and all these different things, like. And, I've been trying to, like, you know, tape them down and get them really nice and prepared, so it's, like, not only an enjoyable and, like, nice, handy surface for me to paint on, but also, like, really striking in terms of contrast and stuff when you guys watch it, because like if I put white down right now it'll really show up, and if I put black down right now it'll really, like, I put anything on that right now and you'll see it even with the shine or whatever, like, you know. So it's like I just like doing this, like, and like I've been bitching the last like week or so about like the fucking paper buckling, and it's because I was using the stuff that's like, was it 70 GSM lower, and I'm using too much water, you know, and I'm using too much paint. But like if you do it, like if you kind of take it handy even with the shitty stuff and you like tape it down right and like roll out the, you know, like wet the back of it and the front of it, wet the surface that you're doing it on. There's all sorts of these like little tips and tricks that you can like stretch the paper out like a canvas, and then when it dries, it's basically like, you know, just like fastened to whatever you put it on. And I'm using these like foam boards. Like these are old painting goos. I can't remember what's under this one. I think it's the fucking, what is it? Oh, it's the books. One of them's got a sword or some shit. Like, man, some of the old painting goos are like so trash. Like, I actually can't wait to do the first book of painting goo, because I think the coolest thing about that is you're gonna see like the progress of like. Hold on, I get a really shitty one out. Like, yeah, I mean that's like not like a really trash one. That's kind of funny. You see, the thing I kind of get away with, like, oh yeah, there we go, the fucking Hell's Gates, this is so trash. You get away with it because it's kind of funny, you know. It doesn't have to be like no Mona Lisa fucking like Sistine Chapel bullshit, like, or like a Warhammer 40k battle scene or some shit. Like, look how trash this is. Look how trash that is. This is supposed to be the gates of hell. Look how trash that is. It's even trashier on the other side. Look how woeful that is. But it's still kind of funny, like, you know, because like that's supposed to be Hitler. And there's like trees in the background. It's like some kind of like, I don't know, like some an attempt at a dragon or something, and like a guy in a rice paddy hat, like, you know. Like, they're bad, but they're hilarious, like, do you know what I mean? Especially because you're doing them live, and I was like drinking and smoking and shit, like, just like, right, what the fuck am I painting? You know, like, it's fucking hilarious. I'd love to do that again, you know, one day, like, just, you know, do a special where like I get a bit fucking tipsy or something, and I'm like smoking, and I like really lean into the like disgruntled old, you know, fucking samurai guy, like, you know, like old Japanese dude is like really pissed off and shit. Like, just like an absolute dickhead, like just like constantly sipping on a bottle of sake, and like it'd be fucking hilarious, like, you know. I'd like shave my fucking hair into like one of them really stupid looking Japanese hairstyles, like, you know, with the bit where it's like bald in the middle and you've just got like hair on the side and shit, like. I want to learn like 3 or 4 paragraphs of like a Japanese guy, like complete, like I want to put like a fucking audio record system in, like, you know, a Japanese dude's house who's like got no one in his life that loves him. He lives alone. He's constantly drinking whiskey or some shit. Like, you know, he's like a fucking earns a shit ton of money as like some kind of like really boring bank job. Like, you know what I mean? Just this like soulless, dead inside, like fuck it, just like full of like narcissism, and he's like real bitter and all. Like, just hates life. He just doesn't see the point in life. Everything's grey. It's always raining as far as he's concerned. Like, do you know what I mean? It's just like absolute bet down human being. Like, ugh. You know, like, because it just, for like the tone of it is so like really like, because it kind of sounds like he's in pain. Like, do you know what I mean? It'd be so fucking funny, like. Griff just posting shit emojis in the chat. Glorious. Right, we know where we are going, and we know what we are going. We are going to South Africa to paint a unicorn, an obelisk, and a hag. I'm torn. Like, part of me wants to do a hog. I think I could do a better hog than a hag. Yeah, like, I think I could do like a really cool looking like boar, big, like funny looking. I mean, I just did a lot of pigs on a chessboard, so like hag, not so much. Like, I'm actually trash at drawing humans right now. Like, so funny to me. Like, How like a lot of the stuff I can pull off at the moment, like mainly animal stuff and like cartoon shit, and then like maybe like a dragon or like a cool robot or something, like, you know, anything that's not a human. I used to be alright at it though. I'm out of practice. I've done so much like imagine this for a clip. I've done so much inhuman shit. Like I've just done shit that's not human. That's a hilarious sentence out of context. But like, this is gonna be a piece of piss. Like, you know, like I did a unicorn for like a bear's little girls there. Like, what was it, like, it's nearly 2 years ago now, and they loved it. I did like a bunny rabbit and a unicorn and a carrot like sprinting away from the rabbit, and like, fuck it, it was great. Like, not to toot my own horn, but like it was professional. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it looked nothing like some of the painting, because it's not the same thing. I always think that's so funny. Like, there's a huge, like, in case anyone didn't know, there's like a fucking huge difference in like the fact that like I'm just trying to like slap this together live and all, like, and the fact that some of them turn out looking okay. Like, I'm surprised. I've actually gotten decent at it, like. And then it's weird because then when I go and try to do something like, you know, commission or like one of my symmetricals, the pace is like so different. It's so funny to me. I'm starting to understand how that was he Korean or Japanese? I can't remember. There was a guy called, I think he might have been Korean, Japanese guy who died like last year or early this year or something. Really good ink artist, and he would do that. He would just like make shit up on the spot, and it'd be amazing looking. And it was one of the things that actually like I thought about a lot when I started doing this. I was like, what if I got so good at this that I could, like, in the space of 2 hours, or even the space of, what did I did the last one in like 3 days or something, 3 or 4 days. Imagine if I could get to the stage where I could like bang one of these out in an episode, and it was like a screenshot from like, it looked like a screenshot from a Disney movie or something, like, you know, like the old ones, obviously, not the fucking like CGI shit. Well, like, you never know. I mean, like, so I've seen some dudes like use oils to make it look like, you know, like a screenshot of like something like I don't know, what's that thing, Big Hero 6. That was like one of the last Pixar things I watched that I really enjoyed. Baymax was hilarious. Whoever designed that is brilliant. Like, on the horse. On what horse? On the or unicorn in Earth with obelisk as horn. I was thinking of like merging the fucking, trying to merge the unicorn and the obelisk. That would be funny to do, like a statue. Not a statue, like a a statue, like, but a big stone carving of just like a unicorn, like a horse's head, and then just with this huge ornate like obelisk coming out of it. But I suppose then it wouldn't be an obelisk, because like the word obelisk defines like something that is like this, you know. I was about to say like large, erect, like, but it is. Oh, it's fucking, but language is hilarious. Seriously, like, fuck's sake, like. The big dick sticking out of the ground. It's like, how are we going to pay homage to our gods, or like lay claim to this place? Like, I want to carve a big stone dick in the ground. I'm gonna put it right there where everybody can see it. Could you imagine if people back in the day were like fairly prudish, like, you know what I mean? Like, not even prudish, like, just like Imagine like they knew that it was like what it was supposed to be, you know, like, or what it symbolizes in a lot of ways. Like, and they start walking past it, like, you know, thousands of years ago, and they're like loincloths and fucking, you know, caveman shit, like, and they see this thing, and they're just like, oh god, oh jeez, oh that's simply uncalled for. Oh, that'd be fucking brilliant. Pete. Hillary Clinton should be murdered for hack. Yeah, she didn't age well at all, did she? Pete. Pete. Right. I like the thing that I've been doing the last while where I actually look up at least a screenshot of the place in question to get some kind of reference. Instead of just being like, oh, I'll just do some mountains and some whatever, like, do you know what I mean? Because the one with the cliffs and the waterfall and the monkey with the spaceship in the sky, like, that came out really well. And I looked at a picture for the basic setup of the cliff. I was like, okay, so I'll just do it here. Like, it's weird how stuff that's like really realistic translates to something cartoonish. Like, it's weird how you can do it, like, because like sometimes I'll paint something and I'm like, will I put a black outline on it, or will I just leave it like that? Like, do you remember I did that bush in okay, the episode where there was like a it was like a science fiction-y, like, future tech looking castle in a like huge like mountainside or whatever, and it had like 3 or 4 turrets killing a lot of zombies, and right up in the foreground there was a bush of peas with another like a single zombie like eating peas out of the bush, like, and the castle looked trash in that, like, so bad. Like, I think it's so funny when I sit down and look at these things in the morning sometimes, like when I've already started one, and I look at it and I'm just like, dear God, like, that's fucking ridiculous. Like, but then some of the shit turns out really well. Like, it's just like, look at the draw. Like, that's why it's so important for me to like just not worry about how it turns out, because that's what makes some of them turn out, and like more often, like, now, do you know what I mean? That's what I was talking about, where like I'm weirdly getting good at this shit. It's actually hilarious, like. But I need to, like, I was actually, that reminds me, that was one of the things that I wanted to say on this stream, is like, I'm not going to do a stream, what day is it today, Thursday? Yeah, I'm not going to do a stream tomorrow, because I've so much stuff to do, and I'm like behind again on like where I would like to be right now. But I have been, like, I've been knocking shit off my list. Pete. It's always good to have, like, I think it's really good mentally to have a list of shit that you can actually just look at and be like, okay, these are my objectives for today. Like, instead of just waking up and being like, what do I have to do? Okay. Like, especially somebody like me who, like, I'm no boss. Nobody's ringing me telling me to do this. Like, I don't have to be at a particular location, like, at any time. Like, I just have to, like, do it all myself. And like, when you first start doing stuff like that, like, you can get caught in these traps of like, oh, I'll just do that later or whatever, like, because sure, you know, like, whatever. But if you don't routine and regiment yourself like properly, like, I think I've like suffered from a form of burnout like a few times in the past like 4 years. Because I'm just like, I'm painting this, now I'm painting this, now I'm painting this, now I'm painting... Oh, somebody bought something, cool. Now I'm painting this, now I'm painting this. Like, and it's just like very overwhelming sometimes. Where I don't actually get the chance to like sit down and like practice and like watch videos on like, you know, how to like do this technique and like blah blah blah. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I like find myself doing stuff like that, like in between meals or something, or while I'm cooking dinner or some shit. Like, I'm, you know, like watching something on the laptop where I'm like, oh no way, so that's how they, like, you know. It's hilarious how like being your own being like self-employed is an overwhelming amount of freedom. It's one of those things, like, you know, like I was saying earlier on about choice paralysis. Like, there are days where I'm just like, whew, like, but maybe that's my problem. Maybe I just like I have I'm getting good at, like, I'm really good at, like, just doing stuff and making a routine and making a plan and setting myself objectives and executing plans and all this shit. But I'm not good at, like, today I rest. If I don't get a good sleep, I just, like, it doesn't matter, like, you know. Because I genuinely do treat it like I have a job, you know. It's funny like that, like. Because I can imagine a lot of people who's just like, you look at somebody like me and it's like, oh, like, you can do whatever, and blah, blah, and like, must be nice to just paint things and get paid for it. Like, don't get me wrong, yes, it is. It's what I want to do. Of course, it's nice. It's awesome. It genuinely actually does feel like a blessing, which for me, like, coming out of my mouth is hilarious. If you knew me before, like, you know, even genuinely talking to God, what I believe to be God sometimes, still makes me kind of laugh sometimes. And I'm like, I actually can't believe I think like this now. Like, I actually have faith in shit. It's a bit fucking weird, like, do you know what I mean? Like, I'm the kind of, like, I'm the kind of guy that, like, in the last, like, several years since joining the bear community and, like, making a lot of friends and, like, you know, going to France to see Juju and the lads coming over for my birthday from England and, like, painting all this stuff for different people. I've done profile pictures and, like, you know, just, like, my art is, like, all over the realm right now and shit. Like, really cool experiences and stuff, like when all of this started happening, like, and I was like, oh shit, like, I can actually do this. Like, I just need to, like, you know, actually do it. I need to, like, not be a fucking gobshite about things. Like, I need to do it properly. I need to have a, you know, I have to start adulting. You know, like, I'm very similar to, like, I'd say I'm very similar to Jacobat in a lot of ways. It's way too existential and, like, up in the ether all the time. My mind never fucking shuts off. I'm always thinking about shit. I'm always visualizing things. I'm always wondering about stuff. I'm always, like, making I'm literally constantly creating shit all the time. And it's really tiring. But it's like my favorite thing to do, you know? It's literally what I think I was made to do. That's what it feels like. And I think that's why people like this shit. Is because, like, I'm just, like, having fun, being productive while doing it, and then sharing it. And just being like, there you go, here, look at this, like, you know. And it's funny. And every day it gets, like, better. Somebody only said that recently, and it really meant a lot to me. Swear to God. Shout out to, I can't remember your name, sorry. It was in one of the comments. I'll find it now. He was like, every time I chime in, they get better and all. Like, and I really appreciate that, you know. Because when I decided to start taking it seriously, as, like, a form of income, it's like, it was strange, you know. I was like, well, I didn't think I'd be doing this. I thought it'd be, like, maybe, like, streaming video games or some shit, like, but not this stuff, like. And it's been great. The response has been fucking, like, really fucking good. Like, it's actually hilarious to me. Like, I'm really surprised. Like, yeah, shout out to Leandro Ramirez. Your paintings are better every time I chime in. Awesome, bro. Keep crushing. That shit means a lot to me. You know, it really does. Like, I love painting shit for people and then they really like it. That's always the thing that, like, I feel like genuinely, it's like, I couldn't give a fuck about the money. I want money because you need money to do stuff. That's it. If you didn't need money to do shit, then like I wouldn't give a fuck about money. What I care about is like, does the stuff I do make people like feel better? Do people like listen to the shit I say and like, you know, whether you agree or disagree, but like at least you can feel and hear in my body language and my tone of voice that I'm like just being me. I'm not trying to like sell you an ideology or an agenda, or even like, I suppose I am trying to sell you a point of view. It's my point of view. Pete. You could argue I'm trying to sell that in a sense. I mean, not really. I mean, I'm trying to sell art, but like at the same time, isn't that a kind of like, that's part of my point of view, isn't it? Like, you know, I don't know. Like I said, I spend a lot of time just like pondering. Sometimes far too much. Let's road this pirate. I'm really digging this jet brack. It's very, very black. You really don't need a lot of this shit at all, which is fantastic considering how expensive it is. I had a really good week, like financially, comparatively to the last while. Like people asking me to paint stuff and all, like Margie and like Emmanuel Godson, or just like randomers coming in the last few weeks. I really appreciate like everyone, every single one of you that has like watched me over the past year and has like gotten a painting, or you got a t-shirt or whatever. Like, I'm gonna make this shit as like as good as I could possibly make it. That's the plan, you know. I'm just like learning how to allocate my energy efficiently so I don't like overextend myself. I can't just focus on the stream, you know. I can't be like, this is my job now, you know. Can't be like that. I still need to like do my own stuff and sell myself as an artist, independent artist, like, you know, and practice and develop my craft, and like really trying to approach this in a calculated, as far as I can tell, wise manner. And it would appear that I'm doing a relatively good job, which is like really fucking like, it's the sense of relief when you're like, oh, it's working, oh thank fuck. Like, especially when you like something like this where like the amount of shit I've painted that's just sitting here, you know. That's one thing I've had to get over, is like for every like, could be 15 or 30 things that I like draw, paint, sketch, take photos of, like, you know what I mean, like maybe one or two will catch somebody's eye, and that's just how it works. Like, you literally become like, you just become this machine that produces stuff and you're just like churning it out. But I like that though. I love watching those videos on TikTok of like some dude in the Chinese mountains making something from scratch. And when I mean from scratch, I mean from fucking scratch. Like raw bamboo, raw like lapis lazuli for the fucking pigment in it, like everything raw dogging that shit deep in the Chinese mountains. Like, it's fucking so cool. Like, That's what's really missing. Like, do you know what I mean? You just have all these machines, AI, computers. Like, you know, oh, we don't need a person. You know, we just have a fucking machine do it. Like, do you know what I mean? It's so shit. Like, there's no jobs. It's like everybody thinks you need a job. You don't need job. You need purpose. You need a fucking purpose. You know. And, like, don't get me wrong, I mean, like, you can totally have the mindset that, like, yeah, my purpose is to earn a living, you know, like, do you know what I mean? And I know it sounds like I'm kind of insulting people like that, but genuinely I do, like, admire and respect people who are just like, I work at the post office. That's what I do. Do you know what I mean? And they're working there for, like, 45 years, like, you know. It's just when you see somebody who's been in that position, but their life is shit. You know, they're single with no kids and they have 10 cats or something, like, you know, and it's like, I've been working in the post office for 45 years, like, do you know what I mean? Like, you know the type, like, there's... I've said this before. Everything in life is, like, a form of, like magnetic energy. It has two polarizations. There's a positive and negative polarization to, like, everything. You know? Which is, like, really cool when you think about it. That's why everything is so varied. But then you think, like, how does all this shit work in unison, like, you know? Really enjoying that show, Lost. Never watched it. Everybody talking about it for years. Like, oh, did you ever watch Lost? Lost is really good. Like, oh, it's got a weird ending or whatever, like. So the other, like, was it, like, 2 days ago or something? Like, it was Monday, I think. I was just like, fuck it, start watching Lost. And I'm really enjoying it. Really enjoying it. If you haven't checked it out, I mentioned it ages ago. Really make sure that you watch Colony. I watched that on Netflix. It's not. I don't think it's a Netflix thing though, because it doesn't have the N in the thing in the corner. Could be wrong. I don't know. Like, but yeah, Colony was really cool. And the dude who plays the dad in that is the guy who plays Sawyer in Lost. So many recognizable faces. It's hilarious. When I started watching Lost, I was like, oh, no way! Like, fucking Merry from Lord of the Rings is a junkie. The dad from Colony is, like, an absolute dickhead. Like, you know, like, brilliant, like. It's a cool show. Ah! Demolish you! Dick Fordu! Ah, Juju! Welcome. Lost was great until the last episode, then I spiraled for a day or two. Yeah, that's what I've heard a lot of people say. It was like, oh, Lost is really cool, but then the way it ended, like... And then, wasn't Owen saying that, like, somebody has, like, chronologically reordered it? Only selling paintings and ponderings here. How black is it? It's so black. It's abyss black. It's fucking concussion black. You know the kind of black you see for a while when you wake up and your head real sore? That's how black. It's lights out black. Feel more sane, and that's saying something. You feel more sane, or I feel more sane than most people or something. I'm not sure. So I hate looking back at chat sometimes and being like, "What are you talking about? What makes you feel better, Margie?" Ugh. That's what, like, I could maybe that's why there's a part of me that wants to play an instrument so bad. It's because, like, I could, like, learn how to play an instrument and just look at chat. You know? Which would be fucking cool, because then I'd be doing, like, you know, almost, like, the same thing that Owen does. It's, like, really impressive. That's one thing I, like, really have, like... I've said it before, like, you know, fucking... Like I said a few minutes ago, it's, like, fucking one of the things that I'm like, oh, man, like, despite X experience when I was younger, I should have got into music or something. But I didn't get into music. I got into, like, drama and, like, fucking didn't even take that up in secondary school. There's lots of stuff I kind of just like. In that sense, like, I would say video games are like really fucked up. You know, because you can end up like just playing video games. It's so much. It's really important to like keep doing other shit, which I kind of did, but like, you know, every so often practicing martial arts, keeping relatively fit, and then like drawing all the time and shit, like. But it's so important to just do stuff, like. It's probably why I'm craving it so much now. Oh, I want to do this, I want to do this, I want to do this, like. Fucking. Literally I'm trying to figure out a way to, like, responsibly start, like, growing in multiple directions. Like a fucking, you know, plant with the roots. Spreading out 360. Because, like, for a while I've just been, like, getting better at art and trying to make more money and, like, you know, keeping an eye on my diet and my fitness, like, do you know what I mean? And it's like only like 3 or 4 major things, which is good in a sense, because, like, you know, then you build a strong foundation or whatever, and like, it's good to focus on particular things sometimes and shit, like. And you also don't want to go too far the other end. That's what I'm actually afraid of sometimes, is like overwhelming myself, you know. I want to do this and this and this and this, and then like for a few days you're like, oh, this is so cool, I'm doing all the things that I like, and then you just completely burn out, like. Oh, I've seriously suffered, like, as far as I can tell, I've suffered from that a lot the past few years. Just looking at the mirror and being like, dude, I look like I haven't slept in like days. And like, I do, but I'm obviously not getting like proper REM sleep. Like, sometimes I'll it's like weird sometimes where like I'll go to sleep late and I'll like, boom, just wake up like 4 or 5 hours later. And I'd be like, I'm awake. Like, and it's like, dude, it's like 5 o'clock in the morning. What the fuck, like. And then like, it's weird, it goes down and shit. Like part of me was like wondering, I was like, my blood sugar or some shit, or like, do I not have enough iron? Like, you know, is my energy, is that why my energy levels are so like erratic sometimes? I'm not working out enough, you know, like, I'm always trying to like I said earlier on, like, I'm always trying to see the variable and be like, what dial do I have to adjust to make this less of a shit show? Like, I feel like I'm this, like, it's like, it's kind of like watching a train wreck, like, where you're like, oh my god, like, but it's just like, but at least it's going in that direction. Like, that's like, I laugh sometimes when I'm looking at like the PEINTEINGUs, where like I'll like wake up in the morning and I got my coffee there and I have to like rearrange everything, you know, because like this is my desk here where I like do most of my stuff and all, like, so I have to like rearrange the room for a bit and then like set it all up. So before I do that, I try to like do all my other stuff, like, do you know what I mean? And then sometimes I like, if I have the energy after the stream, I'll do some shit, so I'll have to like put it away or whatever, like, you know, it's like taking like it's like a ventriloquist taking the doll out of the box, like, you know, there's a bit of like setup to the bit or the gig or whatever, like, and it's like I've been surprised at how like taxing it is on my energy, in the sense of like, for hours doing, it feels like I'm playing video games. It's very similar. You know, it's like, I feel like I could do this for hours sometimes. And I have, like, you know, like, only recently did like a fucking, what was it, like a nearly 5-hour stream or some shit, like, I could sit here and just like ramble about interesting shit and then paint something funny or, you know, cool looking or whatever, and then like, it's just like managing how much juice I've got, like my chi, you know, like, it can be so difficult sometimes, because like you run the risk of becoming not arrogant, but like complacent. That's happened to me a few times where I'm like, oh, I'm doing well, and then something happens and I'm like, I didn't change anything, what's going on? You know, like, And sometimes you did change something, you just don't fucking remember or you notice because it's just a small detail. You know, like, it's hilarious to me, like. It's kind of like that thing where, like, you're building a building and it's like if the foundation has even, like, you know, a small, minor mistake further up the building, there's going to be, like, catastrophic fucking consequences. It looks like I lost my brushes. No, my bitches are right here, Juju. I'm just talking shit. This is a quandary amongst the Japanites as to what constitutes black. What is black? Do you truly know black? Yeah, Juju, we should have a cat. I'll try and make sure that I'm like, I have the laptop near me. You'll have to call me on Telegram or something, like, because my phone is like, somebody rang me earlier and like I just didn't answer it because like the mic on the thing doesn't work. So like I can hear, I can't remember if that even works. Like they can't hear me. Like, you know, it's basically a phone. It's not a phone. It's a phone that I can't use as a phone. So it's basically a small tablet. Like, you know what I mean? But then there's tablets that can be used as a phone. Like, it's so retarded. Like, sometimes I'm just like looking at the, like, do you ever get that, like, where you're like, I've had that a few times where like something like that where just something in your life is just so hilariously awkward, but like you just make it work, you know? I've had a lot of that in my life. And yes, it is usually self-inflicted, you know? Like the time I fucking absolutely destroyed my bedroom door and then had to nail a curtain up. Like... Ugh. Wrath is a bitch. I make you feel better, Margie? Oh, that's nice of you to say. I'm glad I make you feel better. A few people have said that. Somebody fucking well, I won't say. Sometimes I don't know whether or not, like, you don't know whether they want to know, like, people, if they want their name to be referenced or whatever. But somebody turned around to me and was like, love watching your streams, like, you like, you're making a difference, like, or something, like, you know what I mean? And like it did, like, it's fucking. I was gonna go on a rant a while ago, actually, like, and I went on a completely different rant, where like, because of what, like, it's not like I've been through a lot of shit in my life, like, you know, like everybody has their shit, but like, some of the stuff that happened to me was like, you know, profoundly, like, emotionally fucked up. And like, that's not just me saying that in like a narcissistic, like, oh, my problems are worse than yours kind of way. It's like, no, like, other people have like looked at me and been like, dude, like, and I'm like, I know, right? Like, that's fucked up. And they're like, yeah, Jesus, like, it's like, so that's how I know that it's like on the scale of like, you know, your average person goes through X. All right, well, your average person who's been through trauma goes through X. All right, well, you're like, I'm in like, you know, I don't know, like, I don't know the fucking percentages of it, like, but like, I'm a bit damaged, like, do you know what I mean? Like, I'm a bit cracked, like, but I use it to my advantage. I roll with it. I'm like, yeah, I'm a bit like fucked up, like, do you know what I mean? But it like gives me an edge, like, do you know what I mean? And it's like, for people, when people are like, oh, I really love your stuff or whatever, or this, or like, you know, I'll do something and somebody like laughs heartily, that means so much to me. I think that's why I loved like stand-up comedy so much. That's like one of the reasons I respect Owen so much, is because like people really underestimate how powerful laughter is. Like, people seriously sleep on how powerful, genuine, like, really proper belly laugh, chuckling, like crying, like your cheeks are hurting because you're smiling so much, like, do you know what I mean? Like, really laughing. Like, I used to one of the things that used to like really get me out of a funk and it worked like a charm nearly every time. And sometimes I'd forget to do it, which was weird because of how effective it is. It's weird how that shit works. So you just don't remember to, you don't think in the moment like, oh, I should do that thing that will like almost 100% cheer me up even a little bit. It's like, I used to get really high and watch cat videos. Just like cat videos on YouTube or whatever. And some of them are so fucking funny. Like some of them are like fucking hilarious. The expressions on the cats' faces, the noises they make, the things that people do to them and all, like. And like some shit is bordering on fucking animal abuse. Like some shit I would fucking watch and I'd be like, what the fuck? That's so fucked up. Like, but then other shit is like, you know, they throw a fucking slice of cheese on the thing's face and it like recoils hilariously. Like, do you know what I mean? And then you have people being like, that's so cruel. It's like, shut the fuck up. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, people do worse shit to their fucking siblings, like when they're kids. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, Mom, Steve hit me with the taser again. Like, shit, like proper fucking wild stuff. Like, I used to think it was like it was hilarious, but it was also like, what the fuck? When like I'd be like lying on my stomach on the sofa in the sitting room, watching cartoons or some shit, like Samurai Jack or something, like, or Jackie Chan cartoon, and I'd just be chilling, and then my little sister would just like run in and like fucking just dive on my back. And just start like pulling my hair and like it was hilarious. Like she used to do this thing where she'd like, you know, like she'd come in like she was a little monster, like she'd be like, yeah, like assault me, and I'd just like be like, Jesus, and like turn around and just like pick her up and tickle her and like, you know, hold her upside down and all, like, you know, like hilarious shit, like proper, like, you know, big brother little sister stuff. It was weird being that far apart in some regards, but then in another way it was like really good, because like you have that whole kind of like, I felt so responsible and protective and shit, like, you know. But it's mad how like the smallest things can shape you, you know, like really like fleeting moments on a particular day just get seared into your mind. Like one that stands out to me is like she was still quite young, but she was like, you know, what, like 11, 12-ish, so she's like starting to like do the whole like getting her ears pierced and stuff, and one of them went horribly wrong and septic and all, and I think I've probably told this story before. Paint! And she came in, she was all upset, and it was like, it was a stud, and the ear had swollen over her stud, and she was all panicky, and she was doing that, like, I was trying not to laugh, because sometimes I'm one of those guys, like, you know, where like if like some mad shit could be happening and like I'll still laugh. I've nearly laughed at funerals. Like, you know, like something happened at a funeral, like of someone I really cared about sometimes, like, and something will happen and I will have to suppress the you know, like there's it's hilarious. Like, people would call it like crazy or fucked up, but I think it's the proper way to live, I swear to God, because it's what's helped me get through like my pain. It's just being like, ha, that's fucked up, you know. Like, it's like, why would you choose to, whatever, I'm not gonna get lost in a tangent, but like, she comes in, she's like, oh, it's all swollen, she's like proper panicking, like doing the whole waving hands shit, like her head's on fire, like fucking like you know, the thing that women do when they're like, I don't want to touch it, like, it's hilarious. I'm trying not to laugh at her, like, and I was like, oh shit, like, because I had a look at it and I was like, oh, that's really in there, like, you know. And she was like, I don't know how to get it out and all, blah blah. So like, I just like took her back into the bathroom and stood her in front of the mirror. I was like, this is gonna hurt, like, this is gonna hurt like a bitch. Like, but I can get it, like, because I had it, like, I could see I could have a grip on it, like, you know. And I was like, this is gonna fucking hurt, but like I can get it out, like, it'll just be quick. And she was like, you know, just like crying, like nodding. She was like, okay, you know, like, and then I just like pulled it over, and the second I got it out of her ear, I had the thing like this because it was all covered in like pus and blood and shit, and I had the thing like this, and she like hugged me like really tightly. She was like, "Thank you," and like like I had just like saved her from a car accident or something, like, but because she's a kid and she's like in pain and shit, like it's that intense. I can understand, like I can totally understand why people like have children, because like you're their world, like, do you know what I mean? Like, oh my god, what am I gonna do? Like, do you know what I mean? And you're just like, this, and they're like, oh, thank you. like it's so powerful, like, because I was just like, I was trying to hold like the bloody earring parts like away from her, like, so I had my hands above my head, and then she goes to hug me, like, and I was just like, I didn't know what to do with my hands. I was like, I'll just put this over here. It's okay. But it was like one of those defining moments of our relationship where like she knew that, like, if something bad happened, like, I'm her big brother, and like, and it's not that she didn't know that before that, like loads of stuff would happen, but that was like a big one, like, at least for me anyway. But if you asked her, she'd remember it, like, and it's mad how like that is essentially how like this has all happened, in my opinion, is those natural defining moments that like we all know are like visceral and real, and like, they're part of a story, and you're like that your life is a story and all this fucking shit. Like, people, companies like Disney and the mainstream media, all this stuff, like, it's all been used against us. It's all been perverted and like used against us. Like, they use the fact that most people are inherently good. Most people, like, from what I've seen, like, you know what I mean? And it's like they just fuck with you, like, and like it's ruined everything. It's ruined art. It's ruined movies. It's ruined music. It's ruined everything because it's all fucked and it's all for the wrong reasons and all, like. But it's like it is starting to tilt. I've seen it. The last few years, it's starting to tilt. People are starting to be like, fuck this fake, bloated, all about numbers, all about the money shit. Like, it's your life. Live it. Like, let it be real. Have friends. Lose friends. Have loved ones. Have a kid. Fucking, like, take risks. Do shit. Like, the reason people get so wrapped up in all these stories and movies about, like, this guy had a dead-end job, and then this happened, and then he started doing the stuff he was meant to do, and it was his destiny and all that. It's like, on the one hand, people will look at films and be like, it's just, like, they'll look at movies and they'll just be like, but it's just a movie. But then it's like, but what is a movie? Even if the movie is, like, arguably fucking blatant propaganda, it's still what? It's a narrative. It's a story. It's a perspective. It's a point of view. It's somebody telling you something, that something happened, or this can happen, or like, it's no different than the Bible. It's all the same shit. So that's why it like gets in your head, and it like hits certain parts of your soul and your brain and your heart. Like you're supposedly got 3 different brains. Your stomach, your heart, and your mind, like your actual brain, like, do you know what I mean? And that makes sense because it's like you got your logical side, you got your emotional side, and then you got your like lizard brain, primal fucking like no emotion, still some logic, but it's like, for surviving, it's like eat, sleep, fucking like all that shit, like. And they've gotten a hold. They're experts at it. They've manipulated the fuck out of it. They've deceived everyone and all, like, So like, people like Owen, who like he does like really good shit, makes really good decisions, behaves in a moral fashion, and he's like blacklisted and all this fucking shit. And it's not just him. It's just like Owen's like story is like particularly interesting because everybody knows Hollywood and he came from Hollywood, and it's like it all makes perfect sense really why you would have like just this, like, you'd have him, but then you'd have all the other ones that you don't hear about. People in the medical industry, people in the engineering industry, people in the arts, like, that you just don't, like, hear and see. Like, these directors of movies, these writers of books, like, that are just getting left out of the zeitgeist and the mainstream because they don't suit the mainstream, you know. And like what you're starting to see now is you're going to see this explosion of like individuals, just like all these dudes just doing it themselves, like all you need is a laptop, like, do you know what I mean? It's like you don't need much, and there's people been doing it, like people have been doing it for ages. Forget like podcasting, like you could like literally do your own entertainment, like hit everything. You have like, I've seen people on their own make a computerized animation that is so impressive that like the internet, like it blows up the internet and all, and like people, it's all like one guy made this is ridiculous, like something to do with Warhammer. Really cool looking, like, do you know what I mean? It's like it's kind of depressing to me how like people seriously underestimate themselves, because I don't think I'm special, like, at all. I'm constantly reminded about how fallible I am. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, eat too much fucking junk food, fucking like forget to brush my teeth, like haven't showered in 3 days. Like, do you know what I mean? Like every so often I'm just like I don't need one of those guys behind me like Marcus Aurelius, like just, you are but a man. I like remind myself all the time that I am like just a dude. I'm just a dude, bro. But like I'm just honest. I'm just real about it. Like, you know, I like this. I don't like this. This seems good. This seems bad. That pen is blue. That one is red. I just like, I don't fuck around, like. And it's hilarious how like all of these fucking like, it's so funny watching all of these things like turn on people now in the last while, as the tides begin to turn. Like somebody like Diddy getting like, you know, brought to court and all. It's just like oh my god, like it's like I think we genuinely could see like a lot of like really cool stuff happen where like a lot of people who have done some horrible shit actually get put away. But then again, you don't know, like, I mean, like it's, you'd nearly want to fucking like I'd nearly want them to like do a live, at least for a few months or something. Like, you know, it'd be funny if we did like a live recording of Diddy's experience in the maximum security prison. Diddy get diddied. Like, just call it diddied. Like, oh man, people would watch the shit out of that. That would like the, I know it's not the same, but like I kind of see it as it is, like, you know, where it's like they live streamed the court thing between Johnny Depp and Amber Heard, and I know it was like a civil thing, you know, it wasn't like a federal thing, so that's probably like that's why or whatever. Like, but it's like I could totally see a day where like it's like that episode of Deep Space Nine with the fucking Cardassian court, like fucking. Your guilt has already been what's the term they use? Your guilt has already been decided. This court hearing is to prove the validity of that decision. It's hilarious. It's like it's so warped, like, do you know what I mean? It's like they just go guilty, and like they don't do the whole like, you know, innocent until proven guilty. They just go, oh, you're guilty. And we're going to have a court hearing to like essentially validate your guilt. It's like, it's hilarious. Like in a dark, cynical way. It's so fucking funny, like, do you know what I mean? But like to see all this stuff coming out now the last few years, and like, you know, like I don't think Trump got like shot at. I don't think somebody shot at Trump. Like, you know, like I don't think like half of this fucking shit is real, like, you know. But it's definitely entertaining. Like, it's at least like isn't that what a lot of people, like myself included, one of the reasons we were all like really getting fed up with life wasn't because, you know, life was getting more difficult, or like life was like even more traumatic than it ever was, or like stuff was happening that was like worse than any of the stuff you'd seen before. That wasn't it. It's like, oh my god, it's like that. It's like at a Lost. You know, when they're fucking like, we feel shit. Like, why? Because we're not having any fun. And then they just build a golf course. That's what it is. That's what it was. All this woke shit and all this gay stuff and all this like pretentious fucking like, you're not allowed to say nigger, you're not allowed to say fag, like that's mean, don't be mean, you can't be racist. Like, nobody was having any fun for like 15 years. For like 15 years. It's like, oh, I can't say that, oh, I can't say this, oh, I can't say that. Oh, I seen somebody like, alright, I'll see you later, so I wanted to be like, who's leaving? I want to say goodbye. Oh, maxed out. Bye, maxed out. I always want to try and catch it before they leave, because it's like stupid if I'm like, bye, and they're gone. Like, there's some things about my stream that are just like fucking retarded. Like, but it's like hilarious. Every so often I think like it'd be funny when somebody like finds this and they're like, oh, this is really, I really like this, and then they go back and start watching the old shit and they're just like shocked. They're like, what is this? This is brutal. Like, so. What's that smell? Oh, no worries, I just haven't bathed in a week. I have gone through stages. It's one of the reasons why I lost teeth. I just stopped looking after myself. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, I think it's one of the reasons why I kind of related to Asmongold, despite him being like Asmongold. You can tell Asmongold's like a fucking, maybe not. I don't know. Like, I'd put money on him being a coward. You know, like it's just like. I had this moment early on in my life where I realized, I was like, so everyone lies. So everyone's like, it's funny, like Owen was kind of talking about that earlier on, about like we're all hypocrites. We all engage in hypocrisy all the time. It's whether or not you choose to like check yourself and like, no, because you can do it accidentally, like, you know, fucking, unless you think about it, unless you go, hold on, you know, like, and actually like, and that's what most people don't do. That most people look, you know, most people don't look at themselves like from a third person objective perspective, and I've said that a lot, that I try to do that. I try to like watch myself as if I'm playing a video game and I'm the main character, and like I can imagine people would be like, oh, main character syndrome much. It's like not in the, like, main character syndrome is like the narcissist, like, you know, I'm the only one that matters kind of thing. That's not, no, I see it as like, you know, an action, like, because I'm a gamer, I actually see it as a video game where I'm like, alright, so like I am this character, and this character interacts with all these other characters, and all these other characters are exactly like my character, but they're like, I can't control them, I'm only in control of this character. So like, this is like, you learn how the game works, like you look at everything as like a problem solution kind of thing. Like, it's weird, like how people like,
1 section sandwich coming up.
I don't understand. There's been a part of me that's like been afraid of being stupid. Like genuinely like stupid, like, do you know what I mean? Because like, you know, you can like having Down syndrome doesn't necessarily mean you're stupid. Do you know what I mean? Like, because like I've been around people who are like special in quotes, like, do you know what I mean? And like, it doesn't like they're not necessarily stupid. You know, like, I think one of the major, like, just how ironic is that actually? I think one of the major problems in today's society is the ability to communicate articulately, and then the fact that like most people are dishonest, at least to a degree. But in an age where like anybody can just hit up anybody on the internet or whatever, like, do you know what I mean? It's also like interconnected in the network and all this fucking shit. Like, and like nobody knows. Well, not that nobody knows, but just fuck all people engage. Honestly, there's always like some kind of agenda or grift or like, you know, kind of like ulterior motive, you know. Well, not always. It's just very common. I say stuff like that too much, and I'm trying to check myself with that shit. Where like, it's not that I'm pessimistic. It's not that I'm like. It's not that I'm becoming closed off. Quite the opposite, actually. You wouldn't get to me if I wasn't like this. Like I am quite naive and gullible and shit, because like I kind of just take things at face value at first, and then as I'm interacting with them, I'm like still assessing it and being like, huh, this kind of seems like it might be fucking like trying to fuck me. Like every time I upload an episode to Rumble, an old PEINTEINGU episode, every time there's a different bot. Sometimes it's the same bot, which I think is even weirder. Like, it's like, how much is he paying for that thing? Like, Jesus Christ. And like, there's so much fake shit. There's so much like lies. There's so much like fake, like the ads. You ever see the ads on Rumble? Like, it's like they're AI generated and shit. Like now, like, you know what I mean? It's like there's some wild stuff going on right now in terms of like how much you're actually just being blatantly lied to all the time for the sole purpose of like selling you something, or like getting something out of you, or like convincing you to make a decision. Like, you know, it's fucking wild. Like, I do like, I don't fear, I pity I pity the people that will make some very poor decisions over the next few years, as things like get more intense, and as the whole technology, like, there's like an awakening happening, you know. A lot of people talking about like how conspiracies just magically end up coming true, like, just like shit's changing, like, you know. So like, it's gonna be really interesting to see how all this affects people's behavior, like in a kind of a pattern way, where like as everything changes and then people's behavior start changing, like, are we going to start seeing an overall uptick in civilized moral behavior, or actually are we going to see the like both kind of thing, where it's like you're starting to see more moral behavior out of these people but at the same time you're starting to see even more insane levels of immoral behavior out of these people? Like, I really could see like a whole separation happening, where it's kind of like, right, okay, all the dickheads are gonna live on that side of Africa and all of us are gonna live on this side, like just this massive wall, like, do you know what I mean? Like, it'd be the greatest like engineering feat since the Great Wall of China or something. Just this huge barrier that spans across the realm and just splits it in two. It's like all the niggers are in that pen and we're all over here. Like, and then there'd be fucking wars over the border and shit and all. Like, it's getting so wild because people are so deep in this. Like the day I saw a dude giving a blowjob to thin air while wearing VR goggles. Like, it's not, like, it'd have been bad enough if it was a female, but the fact that it's a bloke and it's like in the middle of like a tech demo, like warehouse thing, it's like, you know, a big huge floor with like high ceilings, and they've got all these different booths set up with like, you know, roped off sections and shit, and there's two guys clearly committing like obscene homosexual acts while wearing fully clothed. At least they were clothed, but they're wearing VR goggles doing it. And there's people like out with their phones, people walking by, and like there's certain things I've seen over the past like 15 years where I've just seen like a milestone, like the zeitgeist has just reached another like, it's like, now we're here. Like, we're at this level of hell right now, where you have guys doing this shit. and it's like, it's seen as something that is like totally like, oh yeah, like we can do this now, like for only $999.99 you can have your own virtual fuck room. And like, it's fucking wild. Like I thought I was like a bit of a like dirtbag in the sheets and a bit of an animal in my fucking crass, vulgar. I can still be articulate when I need to be, but like the amount of shit I've seen where I'm like, oh my god, I am nothing compared to these people. The amount of shit I've been so harsh on myself. Don't get me wrong, you probably should be, but I have been so harsh on myself, like, and then I see other people's behavior and I'm just like, holy fuck, I am doing great, like, do you know what I mean? Like, I'm doing so much better than I think sometimes, like. The test of losing money is one very few people are willing to risk, brings out their cowardice. Man, like, I fucking... So, like, I've made a couple of €100 in the past, like, you guys know, I mean, like, you see fucking, I've sent you the money for that painting goop, you see the fucking money coming in the chat, and then I spent, like, 40-50 euro on postage, you know, like, so, and like, I don't care. I'm not like, oh, you know, I only got the money, now I'm spending the money, and it's not even on stuff that I want or need, like, do you know what I mean? But it is stuff that I need. I need to get the stuff to the people, like the female turned around to me one time and she was like, there has to be a better way of doing this, like, it's costing you so much money. It's like, well, that's how much it costs to do what I'm doing. I do it live on the internet and then I mail it to you, like, like straight from source. I'm not a company, I'm not a channel with a big production crew, like, do you know what I mean? There is, like, I'm doing this all on my own, like, do you know what I mean? I've, like, it's, and I'm not coming from the, like, I'm doing this all on my own, like, you know, fucking, I'm trying so hard, you should fucking appear. I'm not coming from that. Like, I've, like, looked at myself sometimes and been like, shit, like, I'm fucking, because I just go with it, do you know what I mean? So sometimes I look around and I'm like, fuck, like, I have something that is, like, fairly, it's like finding gold in your backyard, from my perspective, like, do you know what I mean? And it's not because I'm so talented, it's just, it just works, it's organic, it works, people like it, go with it, like, it's fun, keep just go with the flow, like, do you know what I mean? Like, and it's like I feel responsible. You know, like, it's like I have this thing that I had, like, it's like I'm like emotionally connected to it now because I'm emotionally connected to you guys, like, do you know what I mean? Like, it's like I feel responsible to, like, do it and to do a good job and for you guys to like it, and, like, it's not like take it or leave it kind of thing. Like, to an extent it is, you know, in a certain way it is, of like, it is all just me in terms of, like, the stream and, like, the painting and stuff like that. It's not all just me in terms of, like anytime I say that, I'm kind of like, but it's not just me, it's you guys too, you know. Like, I give people in the chat props, like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm like, it's, oh, the amount of people that don't do that, the amount of people that don't even read comments, the amount of people that don't give a fuck, like, and it's all, like, millions and tens of hundreds of thousands of views and all this fucking shit, like, and, like, even when you see all these, like, even podcasts that I like at the Lotus Eaters, like, you know, let us know in the comments. It's like, you know, and, like, don't get me wrong, sometimes as far as I've seen, they do are like, oh, they have the comments, like, live sometimes, and they're like, oh, well, we just got told in the comments or some shit, like, it's like when, you know, you remember when Crowder was like, he made it out that his stuff was live, and then it wasn't. Do you know what I mean? It's just that, like, any deception any deception, I think, is just like fucked. Do you know what I mean? And that's why I would describe it earlier on. It's like you're watching a train wreck. It's because like some days I come in and I'm sick. Some days I come in and like, do you know, it's not like sometimes it doesn't look professional at all. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, but that to me it just makes it funnier. Like when I'm scrolling through the fucking thumbnails of all the different episodes of PEINTEINGU that I've done, and I'm going down to like select one and put it up on Rumble, and I like see one where there's like just like they're just random thumbnails that like the YouTube software or whatever just like picks a random moment from the stream, and some of them are so funny. Like, do you ever pause a TV show or a fucking movie just randomly, or like, oh, I'm gonna get a cup of tea, and you pause it and like the actor's face is like, you know, like mid fucking it's some of them are brilliant. Like, so it's like, I don't get why people can't take the piss out of themselves more. I don't get why people can't just like be real. Like, shouldn't be, like, I get it, I comprehend it, I understand it on an intellectual level. You know, like they can't face the trauma, like they're cowards to a degree. Like, do you know what I mean? It's just like, you know. But then on a level I don't get it. Like it's like no matter how hard I think, I don't actually on a certain level understand other people. like there's so many people alive right now. And I know it's probably I think there are more fucked up people than there actually are. I definitely think that. You know, because it can seem like that, you know, but like it's not what it appears to be, and all the fucking wizard shit. Like, that's what, like, I think most people are good, in quotes, or would at least want to be. I think most people have a desire to be good, and a desire to be loved and like belong and all this shit. But sometimes it's kind of like you look at it, you're like, oh my god, like there is just like, because like there's evidence for it. There's like physical evidence in your surroundings and online that there is a lot of people who are just gone in the head. Like, I remember seeing that clip from that, it was like a documentary or something about these morbidly obese women. And they're like trying to lose weight or whatever. And I, like, when I'm looking at them, I'm just like, it's just so, it's so like demonic. Like, do you know what I mean? It's like fucking the best word to describe it, because the Bible is so like, oh, it's intense as fuck. There's so many Christians kill a lot of people, like, you know, Muslims, like, you know, it's like really, it may be like, to some people it's like fantasy or whatever, it's like stories and stuff, like, you know, but like to me it's like, you know, it's like it's the highest tier of like how serious people will do something, or like how serious somebody will take something. And the evidence for that is people have throughout history, the reason for like doing some of the most insane shit, like burning people alive or crucifying them, or like just straight up like killing everybody and insulting the earth or some shit, is their belief systems and their behavior. And they're like connected, like, you know what I mean? They'll behave this way because they believe this shit. And like, that's why I look at the Bible and I'm like, okay, so like, not just the Bible obviously, but you look at religions, ideologies, you look at religions, belief systems, and it's like, that's the thing, that's like the gateway to, like, if you want to manipulate someone into getting them to do some really fucked up shit, that's how you go about it, is their belief system, their ideology. And this fairly recent, it seems, I think, like, you know, there's an argue that it's like the same thing. It's like the enemy, our ultimate enemy is whatever the fuck has made everything lame and gay the last while. Because you can't like put a finger on it. You can't be like, oh, it's those people. Like, you know, you can't be like, it's Barbara, John, and Fred over there. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's those guys are the ones like fucking with everyone. You can't do that. Because like, we're all contributing on a level. You know, we're all culpable, individually and as a group, in this like meta fucking story. And it's like, the way people are interacting with each other lately is like, you know, there's been this like suppression the past 10 and I was about to say 10 and a half years. I fucking like 10, 15 years where like you can't say this, you can't say that, you can't do this, you can't do like, all the, there's been like suppress all this, and now it's like being allowed out. I'm really interested to see how everyone's going to react to all that, where it's like, will we actually start being like, you know, yeah, like, why can't we just do some cool shit and like be good? Why can't we just be good? Now, I get the whole like argument, like in a militaristic sense of like, well, those people are uncivilized, they're like pirates, and you know, they just want to hurt people and shit. Like, to a degree, there is this point you get to where it's like, all right, well, what are we gonna do with all the people who like are just fucked? Do you know what I mean? Like, and that is incredibly difficult because like everyone's got their own country, everyone's got their own borders, everyone's got their own, like, you know, how are you gonna deal with all the niggers? Well, how are you gonna deal with your niggers? Fucking like, because that's essentially what it is. The word nigger is a very powerful word because it's not just for the blacks, like, do you know what I mean? It's like, it describes like Owen's so right, like it describes a behavior, like Chris Rock. That's why that joke was so fucking funny and powerful, is because it's like, them niggas. Like, because like you still have that, like, you know, these my niggas, but like not those niggas. Like, that's why, like, I fell in love with that culture. Or like watching the Fridays and like Cat Williams and like Eddie Griffin and all, and it's like, I'm a nigga. Like, but it's like, there's, like I said, there's like two polarizations to fucking everything. There's the niggas, you know, it's like my niggas. Like, and it's like, that doesn't mean they're niggers. That is true, because like they would look at other niggas and be like, fucking, who's fuck's this nigga? Like, it's like this lame ass, this poor ass nigga. Look at them shoes. Like, what are those? Like they rag on like fucked up people. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, because like they exist in a paradigm where it's like you have to get, like, they're like Jews. It's hilarious. Like, because like, where Jews have like chutzpah, ghetto blacks have like, you know, game. Like, you gotta get your game on. Like, you know, like, it's like that hustle. They gotta get that hustle. Like, it's so funny how it's like, it's always the same shit. Like, do you know what I mean? Where it's like, it's just the behaviors. And like, you see it in your own life as well. Like, the amount of times like somebody close to me and I'm just looking at them, like, you know, and it's like somebody really close to me and I'm just looking at them and I'm like, why don't you just stop doing stupid shit? Like, because I do that to myself all the time. Like, I'll do something and I'll be like, okay, like, that's, yeah, like, why would I do that? That's like stupid. No, I'll do this. This will make my life better. This is good, you know. I'll do this and this will be good, and then I do it and it's good and I'm like, I was right. Like, and then I'm doing shit and I'm like, oh, I fucked that up, like, you know. And then you learn, like, other people, you're like, why do you keep doing this? Like, can you not see what you're doing? Like, what the fuck? Like, oh. What happened to Gaganu? He must return to the goo. Ah, Joe's around. I don't know, he might be dead. I mean, he's really old. You will live to see man-made horrors beyond your comprehension, Nickera Tesra. Oh, yeah. Yeah, totally. will always be degenerate gammas who want to push that stuff until it is rejected into. Yeah, like, and I do get the argument that that's why they're allowed to exist, is because they remind you to like what is good without evil, because like how do you know what good is if you can't look at evil and be like, okay, well, not that. Like, what are we gonna do? Not what they're doing. And like the total opposite of what they're doing. Like, makes sense in that, like, in that sense, like, you know, because if they didn't exist, it'd be like you'd have nothing to compare it to, like. I was speaking to the Asmongold YouTube personality thing. The money is the control apparatus. Oh yeah, like he's got his own business, like, but that's what I mean, is like he's a coward, like. It shouldn't be like, you know, like, even if you said something and like your business was affected and like people ended up losing their jobs or something, like, if it's the right thing to do, it's the right thing to do. Because like, even if the fallout is like bad, it's still better than losing integrity, like honor. Like, you know what I mean? It's like, because like, I know people would argue, it's like, well, so all I have to do is fucking do a stupid apology video on YouTube and like we'll get all this money. Well, why wouldn't I just do the stupid apology video on YouTube? It's like, because it's not the right thing to do. Like, the whole point is to have actual integrity. Like, like, the whole point is to have like a standard of honor and be like, I will not do these things, you know. It's like, it's so simple. It's so simple, but like, people have such a hard time with it, where they're like, it's like it's like wrestling with the temptations from the devil or something, like, all the time. It's like, oh, I mean, can't I just be weak in this sense? Like, it's like, you essentially bargain with yourself, really, you know, like, all the time on like how weak to be, what can you like, what can you stand to look in the mirror, kind of thing, like, you know, what point does it have to be at for you to look in the mirror and be like, yeah, I'm good, you know? Because again, polarization, like, you don't want to be one of those guys that looks in the, like, or gals that looks in the mirror and goes, I am amazing. You don't want that. But you also don't want to look in the mirror and be like, oh my god, I'm such a piece of shit. And you also don't want to look in the mirror and be like, you know that your opinion is, oh my god, I'm such a piece of shit. But you look in the mirror and you're like, no, I'm great. You know, like, that's even, like, that's probably one of the more fucked up ones, is the whole like delusion, like self-deception, lying to yourself in an attempt to just like make it a reality, like fake it till you make it kind of thing. Like, that may work in certain kind of, like, you know, areas in life, fake it till you make it kind of thing, but like, it doesn't work in your own mind. It doesn't work like that in your own mind, from my experience anyway. Seeing you crushing is motivating me to do more. Dude, you've got kids and like a wife and shit, and you just like have a new home. Like, just fucking talking about me crushing, like, you're the one crushing. Like I admire you. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you fucking, like, you got a job driving a forklift and like a functioning family and life with like kids that like are like beautiful and that will grow to like respect you and shit. Like, you're the one crushing, nigga. Like, I can like barely manage to like sort out the shit in my head so I can like effectively and professionally produce a product for people. Do you know what I mean? Like, I am so like, don't get me wrong, like, I do my qigong, you know, I like calm down, I like fucking, I work out, I make sure I eat right, like I take care of myself, and like I try to do what I believe to be the right thing to do in terms of like my business and like, you know, my soul's integrity and the relationship with the female, and like I get why people look at you, oh, you're crushing it. It's like in a sense, yeah, I am in a few ways, but like there's loads of ways where I'm not. Loads of ways. There's loads of ways where I'm not. There's loads of places where I'm like still a big fucking teenager. You know? I can't even like, I can barely resist the temptation to eat junk food sometimes. Like, you know what I mean? Like, in some regards, my mental discipline and willpower is like fairly fucking rare. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, and I did, like, there's evidence for that. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, during COVID and shit, like, I was pretty much surrounded. Like, I was like, seriously, I'm the only one who's like, no, fuck them. Really? Jesus. Like, that's bad. Like, it was a real eye-opening experience. Like, really? You're all just kind of fucking like, oh, well, we have to, because, you know, they said so. Like, you know what I mean? Like, really? Like, oh, God, that was fucking so, like, ugh. Talk about getting the ick from, like, everyone in your life. Like, you know, like, it's fucking mad, like. There's, like, there's loads of ways where, like, I'm fucking... That doesn't make me, like, better than anybody. Do you know what I mean? I'm sure there's loads of people who didn't take vaccines and didn't wear the mask, and they're total dickheads. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, it doesn't work like that. Like, oh, he didn't do that, so he must be amazing. Oh, he did do this, so he must be amazing. Like, do you know what I mean? There's like, just loads of people who got vaccinated up to the fucking hilt, and oh, watch, they're probably gonna pull this now. Fucking and they're fine, you know, they're absolutely fine. And they're like good people, you know, they're like honorable people, and all. They had like a perfectly rational and logical reason to fucking do what they did and all that shit. Like, Juju's yeah, like, when was the last time you were at a painting goo where I, like, you haven't caught one of the painting goos where I don't paint? They're rare. They're they're fairly, they're like one every like 20 or something. Like, it's like, oh, it's just one of those ones where he just sits here and rants. Okay. Is that a strawberry poop emoji? Yes. Yes, it's 2024 and we have strawberry poop emojis. Yeah, man, there's always fucking room for improvement. Yeah. I suppose what Stuntman Bear said about me is right then. That at least, like, because I have that attitude, that's why, like, I'm doing good. It's because I'm like, need to be better, need to be better, need to be better. Like, I look at like loads of things in my life and like, I can do this, and you know, and it's fucking really stressful, like, but it's worth it. And like, when I get really stressed out and tired, I'm not like there's been days where I'm like, you know, what the fuck am I doing? Like, you know, should I just get a job or like some shit like that? Like, but then like that quickly passes, you know, and I only ever get like that when, like, you know, I'm really like stressed out and exhausted and stuff, like. And the amount of times I'm reminded all the time that people are like really into this, and like, if I keep doing this and I keep improving it and I keep working on it and I keep working on myself as well in the background, like, I can make a very comfortable living doing this, you know. I could easily make a very comfortable living doing this. And I'm pretty sure that's one of the reasons why the female, like, loves me and is stuck around, is because, like, no matter how hard, like, things get sometimes, or like how unexpected certain things could happen, like, you know, and all that shit, like, I just keep going. I just keep swimming. Like there's some days where it's just like, yeah, not doing anything today, but that's just so you have energy to get up to like and do it the next day. Like, you know what I mean? Like I have that like mentality of like, I don't need to die on this hill. I can come back tomorrow and fight again. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, I'd say that is kind of a gamer thing. You know, why am I beating my head against this wall? I could just like take a break and do something else and come back to it with a fresh mind. Like, you know, like in a lot of ways, I am very wise with my actions, but then in a lot of ways, like I said, I'm still very childish, very teenagery. You know, which has its advantages. Like sometimes I've got like more energy than I know what to do with, and then the negatives or like the cons of that would be that like sometimes like certain aspects of my life I still really give into temptation, whether it be something small with like fucking, you know, like food or like playing video games or something like. But like when I look back compared to what I used to do, the shit I'm doing now is like, yeah, at least 4 or 5 times more productive and noble. You know, I'm trying to do something that will last, something that like I'd like to be able to like, you know, build this into something that I could hand to like me kids or something. You know, I think that could totally be possible. Like. the Nippon music has seriously evolved during the stream. Just be glad you didn't pop in on one of the fucking metal days. Sometimes I just don't give a fuck, and I'm like, I want to listen to this. Like, I gotta like, I am quite eclectic in the sense that like, I'll listen to this like most shit if it's good or whatever. But try to find music that you can play that won't get the stream fucking limited or whatever. And all that shit. Like, I think like I've managed to find a nice little niche where like I play the same, you know, tunes and I like swap between them and shit. There's like different vibes, and then we've done different types of PEINTEINGUs and stuff. Like, it's gone well. I'm loving it. I know you guys are loving it. You show up every day, you know. So there's actually been an uptick in views lately. You know, I must be doing something right if 2 randomers came in the past couple of weeks and have bought paintings off me for like 200 quid a pop. Like, you know, just get those days where you're like, oh fuck, I'm tired. And I'm still, I know I haven't painted anything, but I'm still here. Like, that's what's like, that's show up. You know, even if you can fuck all, like, you know what I mean? Just, but at least show up, like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm knackered today. But I just sat here and spoke for fucking 2 hours, like, you know what I mean? It's like my mind and my body are completely out of sync sometimes. Where like I could just go and go and go and go and go in a mental sense, but physically I'm just like, oh, my back, oh, shoulders, oh, neck, oh, like, it's been too long since I did a proper workout. It's probably all the time with me. Lesotho. Oh, Jesus, that's intense looking. Oh, it's a dam. Okay. Oh, yeah, that one. Well, let's see, Yannick Falls. That'll work. Yeah, that'll work. Get these bitches wet and paint something. You didn't read my finance chats. I'm attempting to support you. What do you mean by this? If you're planning on giving me a lot of money or some shit, don't. Just buy a painting. How do I get this thing to stay up as long as possible? The photo. I need the photo to stay up on the screen. Dirty! Take all of this yarrow. Good bit of glue. Painting. If you paint something, I want to buy your orange painting. Clearly, you just don't know a underpainting when you see it. You know, I fucking thought you were an artist, Juju. I'm sorely disappointed. At least, wait till the painting is nearly finished, and then you can decide if you want it. Yeah. Don't be just buying shit. Buy it if you want to buy it. Because I don't want it to, like, I don't want you buying one of the, like, because some of them do turn out kind of shit depending on my mood, especially these days, like, you know. I could just, like, not really put that much effort in, and, like, it just ends up being a bit crap, like, but it's still like fun and entertaining because I'm like acting the bollocks and like talking about funny shit on stream and all that. Like, I know much paying like 200 quid for something you're not even gonna bother like putting in a frame or hanging up. You're just gonna be like, whatever. Like, although I say that fucking 2 acre, like, he's probably like, man, I got like fucking 5 of these things. They're going in the drawer. Like, I'm just being honest though, like, do you know what I mean? Like that's how I feel. I don't want you paying money for shite. Like, do you know what I mean? Try to send me €10 or something. I'll see you in a bit, Margie. Oh, excuse me. Yeah, don't worry about it, Juju. If you need to bounce, you can bounce. I always think that's funny when people are like, I'm so sorry, I gotta go. It's like, go. You got shit to do. Like, fucking go. Like, it's like Jurassic Park. Like, you gotta go, you gotta go. It is actually hilarious, like the contrast between like how unbelievably nice and awesome a lot of people are, and then like how fucking incredibly shit other people are. Truly polarized, like extreme differences. Need more euro. I love to play Conanator, but I'm broke. Bitch you for a moment. Send fun for second kitty painting. Yeah, don't worry about it, man. Don't ever be like, oh, I wish I could buy this, you know. But like, yeah, like, there's a reason I've like if I honestly thought that I could charge like 500-600 quid per painting and it like wouldn't like break the bank if you guys bought it, then that's what I would charge. But like like especially with the PEINTEINGUs, like I've taken that into account where I'm like, I don't feel right charging people a lot of money for like you know, a funny most of the time, but like quite lackluster painting. Like, you know what I mean? Like, there's only a few people that would like Scouse or something that would like hang it up on the wall and be like, I fucking love it, it's deadly. Like, do you know what I mean? It's like, it's one of those things. Like, it's like, I don't. That's why I'm so grateful when people do, you know, and they're like, I want to buy this or whatever. I'm like, serious? It's been an incredibly humbling experience doing all this, like, because like, don't get me wrong, like I know I'm pretty good at this shit. Like, I'm getting better all the time, but yeah, like I don't want people to be obligated and stuff, you know. Because you do run that risk, and we all like get lost, especially you and me, who fucking play video games together and like fucking hanging around with you and Sonya all the time now and all, like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't want you to be like, well, I want to help my bro. It's like, yeah, like if helping me puts you out, don't fucking do it, you know. Be foolish. That's why I've really tried to get back into the symmetricals, because I'm like, you know, I know those things would be badass looking when I do them right and take my time and fucking take my sweet ass time with this one. Really am, like. But I sold a few of them before I even left for Tipperary, like, you know what I mean? It was the thing at the time where I was like, holy shit, I could do this. Because people were like, I was doing them and people were like, wow, they're really cool looking. Like a bear from England was like, want to trade? He's like this awesome oil painter and shit, like. That's some really fucking cool experiences the last few years in terms of like my art and stuff like that, where like something just like out of the blue, like gonna trade paintings? You're like, fuck yeah! Something I would consider a great honor would be to work on one of the Bear cartoons with Hometown. I would like be like a giddy schoolgirl. I'd be like, are you fucking serious? This is so cool. And like I can see stuff like that happen in the future. Like once I'm more like stable and like efficient in a professional sense, and I have like a couple of more tools under my belt. Like as much as I don't want to, I probably will have to start like doing some digital stuff. If I could be incredibly stubborn and get away with it, like I think I would. Where like if I could send like only analog shit to somebody like Hometown, like if he was like, you know, oh like design me this or whatever, like, and I just paint it, like, you know, draw it out or whatever. I'd love to like if I didn't have to do it digitally, then I wouldn't do it digitally. But I'm not in the industry and stuff like that, so like I'm still ignorant to a lot of stuff. It was funny when like earlier on today, female twins were in, and she's just like, I just really like it when you have a plan, like, you know what I mean, like, because like the last 3 days I've just been like, this is what we're having for dinner, I've already bought it, and I haven't done that in a while. And she's like, it's been great. I get home and you're just like, this is what I'm cooking. My problem is I make too many plans. You know, I forget to make certain plans because I've been making fucking plans all day. Like. And in terms of dinner, sometimes it can be fucking kind of annoying for the female because I literally eat the fucking same thing every day for a while. Like. Hi, important to not be foolish even when intention is pure. Yeah, like, you know them characters in movies and TV shows that think they're doing the right thing and then they fuck everything up for everyone. Like, those are the characters that like a lot of people end up finding the most like annoying and pathetic and shit, because it's like, oh my god, you fucking idiot. Like, but I was just trying to help. It's like, you've ruined everything. Obviously in movies and TV shows or books or whatever, it can be an extreme example, but like there are people like that are like, oh, I was just trying to be like, you know, just trying to be good, I was just trying to help. It's like, and you fucked it. If the painting is crap, I might just have to invest more in Missouri. Exactly. On second thoughts, I think I'm going to invest in the campgrounds. Oh yeah, like like I've seen some changes when you put the photos up and all. Like it does look quite different. I can see that you've made like a few little adjustments and stuff. I love your house studio, the design of it and all, the land you have and all. It's beautiful. You have a beautiful place there. We'll work out a deal for a PC trader, perhaps. Fucking man, I'd want to paint you something fucking epic for a trade for a PC. Something I'd really take me time with. Like something on the lines of Conanator, but like way better looking, you know? Actually draw it out for us, make it as badass looking as I can, like. An hour of meta speak.
Watch videos ad-free, offline and in the background. Try YouTube Premium on us.
Shut the fuck up. Bitch, I'm busy cleaning buses. You still want the painting? It's not bad. Still plenty of work in it. Alex needs glasses for the chat. Speak for yourself, woman. You should have seen the mess on the third one I rolled into my bay. Took me an hour to clean whatever orifice this splatter of matter came out of. Oh god. Oh god. Whatever orifice this splatter of matter came. Ugh. Oh, Demon Hunter's a fucking, like, he's one of the good ones. Only the best in my chat, Juju. Only the best, yourself included. We may occasionally get some loudmouth fuck faces, but they are quickly dealt with. Ah, Ian Gananu. Welcome. Epic Domo. Domo for your comment too. That was the wrong shade. Need to get back to that kind of light brown. Squeeze the last bit out of this Bremen-Yero. Oh, fucking where Juju lives in France is absolutely beautiful. Like the epitome of absolutely beautiful French countryside. Like it's just, oh, I really want to go back. The second I have the money to like do it and all, like, because I don't want the female paying for everything every time we go away, you know. But I also can't just frivolously spend what little money I do earn in the meantime. Because like the next thing I'm gonna try and like I invest in stuff, like, do you know what I mean? Higher quality paints, some more brushes, make sure I have plenty of paper to keep doing the streams, like paying the internet every month. So like there's stuff that I've like allocated funds towards every time I sell something, or like every time this happens or whatever, you know. So far so good. We are growing, we are improving. And I have a bit of excess wealth sitting there. One of the first things I want to do is visit you again and it'd be a situation where the female doesn't have to pay for it this time, you know. Like a lot of the times she is the ones that want to, like, she wants to go to a festival and stuff like this. No, it's not really my thing. Use a different bitch for this one. I'm not really into festivals and stuff, but definitely, like, I want to visit Demon Hunter Bear and his missus in America, but that's going to be expensive, you know. There's all these things that I want to do, but then there's the things that I have to do, you know. Oh, excuse me. Run from my stream, fag. Still have some paraplegic coffee. That's hilarious. Want red and white stuff? What, in the painting go? Yeah, I know there's no shame in a part-time gig. I tried that when we first got here. It was actually like it was funny how it ended up on Facebook. I was like local local painter looking for work and all, like, and I was like, I stupidly thought that like I'd made it clear that I was like an artist. Obviously I just said painter, I didn't say like whatever. So like a commercial painter like got onto me, and I did a few days with him and all, like, but it's just because I do like I'm doing the turtle t-shirts for the past like how long now, and I am stuck on the past 2 months or something. I'm stuck on the sixth one, and I've done so many different iterations, and I've like redone the symmetrical, and I'm doing commission for Griff, like I'm from the moment I get up till about either just after the stream, and then sometimes till like late at night, I am drawing, painting, designing, whatever, like, and like if I took, say, like, what, 3 days, even if I just had a part-time thing for like 3 days, the amount it would cut in to like what I'm able to do. I think one of the reasons why I've managed to like get a few customers and like, you know, fucking grow my social media and like get a few hits out there and all, and like get some randomers involved that isn't just people who like know me and stuff like that, like is because of the way I've approached it. Like, you know, if I had like a part-time gig, there's no way I could still do what I'm doing and have a part-time gig. It would completely change my routine. It would completely change what I'm able to do in a short space of time. Like, I've thought about it, you know, like it'd be nice to have a bit of extra cash there or whatever. But it would completely change everything, like. And I've been like kind of in this routine before I even came here. You know, getting up, painting for most of the day, and like getting a few paintings done a week, you know. And then starting the PEINTEINGU stream every day, Monday to Friday. That in itself completely changed my routine. It took me a while to get used to that. And I think Stabber was right when he said it there a while ago. Like, I don't think it's going to be too long before Because I am kind of like selling myself short in some ways, like, you know what I mean? In order to just make some money. But when I'm at the stage where like somebody buys a painting goo, somebody fucking sends me a super chat, and I sell a symmetrical all in a week,
This is
more
really
than
nice.
enough.
This
you
one
know?
is the bearskin one.
That's the where I'm getting at, is like trying to maintain that routine in such a way that I can really. I'm trying to do both for a while, and it's like you could easily make the argument that the stream has taken priority in a lot of ways. Which is why sometimes I'm like, right, I'm not doing, like fucking today, I'm like, right, I'm not doing a stream tomorrow because I want to focus on other shit. Too bright in the background compared to how dark it is in the foreground. Yeah, Juju crushes. Despite how she may think of herself, she crushes. Her garden's amazing. Do I know what I'm doing? Not really, not yet. I know I'm putting a waterfall in the middle. But I don't know how I'm gonna, like, there's supposed to be a unicorn, an obelisk, and a fucking hog or a hag in this. Still haven't decided. I haven't decided if it's going to be a hag or a hog. But there's definitely going to be a unicorn and an obelisk. It's actually a pretty cool place to put a unicorn. It's like the fucking backdrop of a waterfall, like.
Overtaste. Black opium, a new
Black opium.
What's up, guys? This is Kevin from RPG.
Oh my god.
Today,
Black
I want to
opium.
quickly show you some maps out of the 10
Straight up poison. Like,
I've seen more of the utility in my work since my kids were born. Helps me stay motivated and focused. Yeah, because you're doing it for them. Motivation's a big thing. Big thing. It's a major thing you see again with young men these days, is they're not motivated. Now and again I suffer from a lack of motivation. Compared to what I would like. I'd like to be more motivated. I think it's a result of just years of letdowns where you're kind of just like, oh, why bother? Typically I'm not like that anymore, but I definitely have been. Definitely been like that in the past. And I'm just like, why? Why fucking bother? Having a parent who habitually lies about things and is really self-centered really fucks you up. Finding the motivation to do anything is quite difficult at one stage. Being down in the pit though really does teach you shit. It teaches you what you're willing to put up with, and in a lot of ways I'm willing to put up with a lot of shit. I'm quite resilient and stubborn, and I can take a lot. But then, that can be my problem. There's been times in my past where I've taken way more than I should have. The whole thing of know thyself, you know? A hog dressed as a hag would be funny, yeah, that'd be pretty funny. Slap a wig and a dress on the thing, call it Sue. Best for me is a commission that you bring over personally so that I don't have to pay the French post. No, it's not destined for anybody. It's just a PEINTEINGU. That's the glory of PEINTEINGUs, is they're just awesome. And if somebody wants to buy it, they can buy it. I have a feeling it will eventually get to a stage where I'll have to get a print of them done before selling them, because multiple people will want the same fucking PEINTEINGU. But I'll deal with that problem when I face it. I am rarely in the chat. Seems that I am a bit overbearing. But this chat or the other, Owen's chat? What chat are you on about? Or are you on about the Legends chat? I haven't seen you on Telegram in like a couple of weeks. I assumed you were detoxing or some shit. Let all that dry before I go back in there.
I didn't fuck.
I like that's something I'd love to do, Juju. Actually, is do one of me symmetricals on a big wall in somebody's room. I think it'd be deadly looking. The bigger the better, because you can get more detail into it without it being like, you know, really difficult and stressful. Like most houses have one wall that would like just suit a symmetrical, where you just like slap it in the middle like a big sticker, like deadly looking. Who fucking who did you have an altercation with? You need to stop letting social media get to you. Especially after your experience with Porn Bear. That's why I just cut people like that off. I'm just like, okay, fuck you, like, you know, just fucking ignore them, like. Because people are like a lot, not people, but a lot of people these days are completely different on the internet or on the phone or like whatever. Same fucking thing these days. They have their online persona and then they have their in-person persona, and like they don't line up, and that really fucking annoys me. And I'm pretty sure it's one of the things that people appreciate about me is like, it's like, oh, he's like the same, you know, like. It's fucking, it can be pure jarring when like, or even when you haven't met the person in real life at all and you're only interacting online. Even then you get like Born Bear, like, you know what I mean? You start talking to him or whatever like that, and you're like, oh yeah, this dude seems cool or whatever, like maybe he drinks too much, but like, you know, fucking who doesn't? Like, he's Irish, like. And then like he just turns out to be an absolute blood-sucking wanker, like. Those are the worst ones, like. The ones that initially seem alright, but that's only to get you close. So they can like really fuck with you. If you don't want to say the name, it's grand, like, I don't care, like, I'm just curious. A lot of painting space. Yeah, like, I don't, like, it'd be handy to have, like, a projector or something so I could do a design, like, I could draw fairly, like, small, and then project it large, or, like, you know, other than that, like, what the approach I take is like, I like chalk it out and then like trace it and flip it or something, like, because like I'm good, but I'm not at the stage where I could like, where I would do a freehand symmetrical on somebody's wall and expect them to be satisfied with it. I wouldn't be satisfied with it, because like that's what I was used to. That's what I do with the symmetricals. Is like the reason I freehand one side of it and then flip it to get it perfectly symmetrical is so that all I have to do is like execute the painting well, and it's like clean, you know. But if you just like freehand it, it's like it's not gonna be like, you get it like fairly fucking symmetrical looking, like, do you know what I mean? If you're like decent at art, you can get it pretty fucking symmetrical looking, especially if you're like, you know, rubbing it out and then starting again and lining, just like correcting as you go and shit, like. But like your eye is just gonna be able to tell, you know. Your eye can just tell. Yeah, he burns people, yeah. Nigga needs Jesus and maybe a kick in the nads. Yeah, he's not like... Like, I have moments regularly where, like... like getting a part-time job. That's a moment where I've had in the last few years where, like, am I, like... Should I just get one? Like, am I, like, you know... Am I being selfish? Am I like doing wrong by, you know, the female or whatever, by like, you know, selfishly indulging in this? And it's like, it's not an indulgence, like this is really fucking stressful and really like difficult, and if I pull it off well enough to a degree where I can clear a few grand a month, that's basically her wages, like, you know, so we could like immediately either swap roles or I mean, like, I have a feeling that she's gonna keep working, like, you know, she's in a lot of ways she's very like a bit too modern for my liking, even, like, you know what I mean, where like she likes being independent and likes having her own stuff and all, like, you know, she could definitely like have a different job or do different stuff for money, you know. But that's one of the reasons why I want to do this, is like I want to be able to make enough money that she can have a choice, you know. And like when I worked it out, like with evidence, you know, like trying a few days with that fucking part-time painting, like the commercial painting gig, I was just like, there's no way, like it just takes up way too much time. It would take me years to get my art and like the character design and the merch and like the website and like all this fucking stuff. Like I don't even have a website yet, really. Like I have a Facebook page and a YouTube and stuff, like, you know, like to get that stuff to the stage where people click on it and are interested and pay me money for stuff would take years, because I'd be doing it like probably less than half the time, like, do you know what I mean? And like when you take into account that like I'm the one that's at home all the time, I fucking do a load of the house chores and like make dinner, I only have so many hours to kill in the day to be able to be as like productive as possible, like. So what I've elected to do is just like get up every day early and create as best I can and make what I'm doing as best as I can make it, to make as much progress as quickly as possible, so the female doesn't feel like she's like waiting around on me, you know. So like every time I sell a painting or I'm making good progress or more people get interested or a randomer shows up in the stream, it's like getting a little bit closer to like having a steady flow, you know. Because as soon as I get to that stage, that's what will make the big difference, is just having like a steady flow of an income that I can rely on, and as a result that will then make the female be like, oh okay, like, you know, it's stable. Because the last while she is a bit like, you know, fucking, you don't even know what you're doing, like where you go, like where's this going, and like especially with the painting, you're like, I don't know where this is going, I haven't a clue. Like,
you won't even need an umbrella.
I haven't a clue where this is going, but it's going somewhere good, like. I prefer to give you remuneration here directly. Not a fan of putting it in the mail. It's just whatever way you want, you know. You can click the link, send me PayPal or something, or you can do Western Union transfer in your post office, or like fucking, you know, whatever's easiest for you. Like, remind me later. Like, do you want, like, do you want to buy this? It's not even finished yet. Like, you know, so I'm not letting you buy this till it's finished. Agreed. I won't cut through €80 in a package that ended up in a fire. Oh shit. No way. Yeah, it's euros though. It's basically worthless. There's something about being European that is like, it's almost like being Canadian, you know? It's like inherently gay. Like, all the Americans complain, oh my god, twice now we've nearly had a woman president. It's like, yeah, the Irish had a woman president for years. Like, when I was growing up, it was like a female president, like, you wouldn't marry. Yeah, we'll catch up this weekend, yeah, definitely. Right, guys, I'm gonna leave it there. Despite all my yammering, still made a good start on this. I want to get the shading a bit better. It's displaced. Some areas of this look really good, and then some areas look shit. I need to like bring it together. The waterfall will help, but we'll get to it Monday. I'm not doing a stream tomorrow. I'm gonna focus on the other shit I have going on at the moment. Commissions, and I haven't worked on the symmetrical in days because I've been setting up these fucking boards and trying to do work on the turtles. I might release a t-shirt and stickers. I might get onto Budbear of just the first 5, because it's taken me so long to get a version of this heavily armored one with the hammer that I like enough to actually make it part of the set. It's fucking doing me head in. It's so typical that it's the last one as well, you know, like, it's like I do all of them and they're like, oh yeah, they turned out great, like, and then I get to this one, I'm just like, I just can't get the pose and the armor, and like, I'll get there. I might, but yeah, I might just like release the other ones as like stickers and a t-shirt or whatever. And I still have to do the good, the bad, and the chicken t-shirt. So, yeah, over the next, like, or probably over Christmas or whatever, I'll try and get some stuff out. Like, I'll try and make it that you could at least have a retarded chicken t-shirt for Christmas. Because I know some people that love that one. I'd wear that. Oh god. Right, I'll see you Monday. Hope everybody has a great Friday and then a weekend or whatever. I love you too, Juju. A woman in power. No, a woman in power is not good at all. Not good at all. Far too emotional. Right, my beloved Japanites. Be good, be true, and be beautiful. And I shall see you Monday.